are monsters. We shall do what monsters do!
Aren't we making a mighty rocket?
It's Armageddon, the end of the world. The forces of heaven and hell wage war on a scorched earth. In Darksiders 3, you play as Fury, one of this universe's horsemen. I say this universe because the original horsemen of biblical mythology are often named as war, death, pestilence and famine, whereas Darksiders has war, death, fury and strife. And where biblical analogy exists largely to make us reflect on our lives in solemn contemplation, Darksiders exists to be totally fucking rad. I just wish it had made me feel cool all the time, instead of stopping to make me wait for a room to load.
Idiots. It's a miracle they ruled the Earth for as long as they did.
Your charge in Darksiders 3 as a whip-toting sorceress is to hunt down and kill the physical manifestations of the 7 deadly sins: envy, wrath, greed, sloth, lust, gluttony and pride. And for the first few hours of the game, it really is that simple. Fury doesn't question or consider the consequences of her mission, bouncing from sin to sin as she brutally murders everything in her path. But slowly the cracks begin to appear, and sometimes those cracks are quite literal, as Darksiders 3 struggles to pull its own visual weight. Character models can feel blurry and flat, even compared to their earlier iterations, but that's just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the graphical issues. In its worst areas, the frames per second can take a nosedive, and even in the best ones, the frame rate is unstable, often experiencing small judders. Frequently, when I spun my camera around a corner, I'd catch flashes of white at the edge of a screen as parts of the level loaded in. Texture pop-in can be frequent and noticeable depending on the area, and some suffer from a constant need to load, causing you to freeze in place as you wait for the game to catch up. So yeah, there are more than a few technical issues. If there is a silver lining to be found, it's that Gunfire Games' choice to focus on combat and a labyrinthian world map for this entry, turning the series from Zelda clone to Dark Souls copycat in the process, has paid off. Fury's whip lashes into demons, angels, undead, massive insects and other beasts with a powerful crack, and the various other weapons she gains access to as the story progresses, powerful hammer, daggers of flame, a lance of lightning, a sword imbued with the power of frost, are just as satisfying to use. Best of all, you can freely switch between any of them instantly with no cost or penalty. And rather than rely on either mindless button mashing or combo memorization, Darksiders 3's combat is all about timing. Pause for a second between swings of Fury's whip, and instead of a sweep, she'll perform a lunging attack. Hold the attack button and Fury will create a deadly vortex around herself. And most satisfying of all, attack right after a dodge and she'll perform a special move that deals high damage and boasts visual flair. Darksiders 3 also succeeds in terms of presentation. This feels like a game that fans have been waiting for, if not in structure and substance, then at least in story and style. Fury's mission to eliminate the 7 deadly sins gives the game ample opportunity for the kinds of excessive, comic book inspired designs that the series is loved for, and the conspiracy uncovered in the first Darksiders is teased to be much grander than anyone had previously thought. And though End of the World may conjure up images of decay and destruction, Darksiders 3's environments are saturated and evocative. For example, I don't think I've ever enjoyed an underwater section as much as I do in this game. Mostly because I just get to look at all the pretty colours though. For all of Darksiders 3's faults, you can't accuse Gunfire Games of disrespecting or tarnishing original creator Joe Mad's vision. This is an Armageddon that oozes cool. The series has always existed comfortably as a middle shelf product, driven more by creative vision than the polish and expensive marketing campaigns of AAA titles. And Darksiders 3 doesn't change that whatsoever. It's just not as well made as its competition. I forgive the game's glitches and flaws because I love the feel of this world. I enjoy seeing the story unfold, and Fury's attacks make me feel powerful. But is Darksiders 3 actually deserving of that forgiveness? Can something be cool enough that, by comparison, subpar performance ceases to be an issue? If you answered yes, then Darksiders 3 is for you. And if not, then it's not like it's the end of the world. This feels like a homecoming for fans, and the combat is a blast, but it can be hard to appreciate the good when dealing with a laundry list of technical stumbles. We give it 3.5 out of 5. So that's our thoughts and opinions on Darksiders 3. Let us know what you think about it in the comments below. Click the boxes on the left for more content from us, and don't forget to click that big button in the middle to subscribe for more gaming news, reviews, previews and features right here on Games Radar Plus.